It starts always with a tiny little seed of an idea, a little germ. And that even doesn't come very easily. You can be mooching around for a year or so before you get a good one. When I do get a good one, mind you, I quickly write it down so that I won't forget it, because it disappears otherwise, rather like a dream. But when I get it, I don't dash up here and start to write it. I'm very careful. I walk around it and look at it and sniff it and then see if I think it will go. Because once you start, you're embarked on a year's work. And so it's a big decision.
Roald Dahl is a British writer famous for his clever short stories and chilling children's books. His taste for cruelty, rudeness to adults, and comic flair fascinate young readers. Dahl was born September 13, 1916, to Norwegian parents Harold and Sophie. As a boy, he grew up in Llandaff, Wales. He had 3 sisters, Astrid, Alfred, and Elsie. At the age of 3, his 7-year-old sister Astrid died from an appendicitis, and weeks later his father died of pneumonia at the age of 57. His books were inspired by many of his own experiences. He was expelled by the headmaster at the cathedral school for putting a dead mouse in a jar of gobstoppers at a local sweet shop. He wrote about these experiences in his autobiography, Boy, Tales of Childhood. While attending Repton School, the chocolate company Cadbury delivered new chocolates to be tested by the students. This is where Dahl began dreaming of inventing a new chocolate, and was able to in his 3rd book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Before Dahl was writing children's books, he was a pilot during World War II and almost died when he had to make a close call landing and ended up fracturing his skull, smashing his nose, and leaving him temporarily blinded. He later recovered and went on to become a spy who supplied intelligence from Washington to a Canadian spy master and the British Security Coordination. He began writing in 1942 when he was transferred to Washington, D.C. This is where he published his first work in the Saturday Evening Post about his crash. Dahl left the service in August 1946 and married American actress Patricia Neal in 1953. They were married for 30 years and had 5 children. Many of Dahl's stories can have a dark side to them, which may be because he dealt with a lot of tragedy in his life, with his son Theo being injured when his baby carriage was struck by a taxi cab, and his daughter Olivia died of measles at age 7. His wife Patricia suffered 3 separate brain aneurysms. He divorced Neal in 1983 and married Felicity Crossland. He died on November 23, 1990, at the age of 74 of blood disease. In his memory, a gallery was opened up at Buckinghamshire County Museum. He was also honored in his hometown of Llandaff with a plaque. His birthday is also celebrated around the world as Roald Dahl Day. Dahl is remembered for his many children's books, such as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, Matilda, James and the Giant Peach, The Witches, The BFG, and so many more. Dahl had much success as an adult story writer. Many of these were published in Ladies' Home Journal, Harper's, and The New Yorker. Dahl's stories are still popular today because of their comic value and timeless themes. His stories have continued to be made into films as recent as today's Fantastic Mr. Fox and his past films of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach.